Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Brothers channel, and this is my performance review on the Adidas D.O.N issue 2. So this shoe is going for a whopping $100, so basically a budget shoe. Thank you Adidas. You know, they pretty much keep their shoes on the budget side of things, I guess, besides the next level or the original next level, which was like $200 or $180, which was insane. But you know, Hardens are like $140. You know, D.O.N shoes, Dames are basically $100. And of course, this is Donovan Mitchell's second signature shoe with Adidas. So without further ado, let's get it started off with the traction. So for the traction, they're using like a spider web traction pattern. Looks pretty cool. It is translucent in my colorway, and this traction is okay. It's pretty mediocre, you know. The bite was pretty good. It slides out a little bit, especially on hard movements, and of course it's just on an outdoor court. But I found that the performance on an outdoor court directly correlates to the performance on indoor court. So I've been testing shoes on the outdoor court, and I've been testing like some pretty bad shoes as far as like the traction goes on indoor court, and I've been testing it outdoors, and believe it or not, they actually had bad traction on the outdoor court. So it didn't happen 100% of the time, but it happened a good amount. So just take that with a grain of salt. Of course, I only played outdoors, but like I said, the performance on outdoor court wasn't the best. So I don't think it's going to be the best on indoor court either. And not only that, but the durability is not that good. Like when I first got this, I was like, ooh, the rubber's kind of hard. I feel like it's gonna be pretty good. I mean, it doesn't have the deepest grooves either, but it's definitely not durable. The rubber is ripping off. How? I don't know, but it's ripping off like crazy, and especially here in the forefoot. That's really bad. So the outsole I didn't really like, and of course they are using a decoupled design here. All right, as far as the heel to toe transition goes, they definitely improved it from the one. The one I did not like at all. Of course, there are people that didn't mind the one, but I just don't like that really flat outsole that they did in the one. But you know, they definitely fixed that in here in the two. You know, you have a nice curved shape here in the heel as well as in the forefoot. That feels really nice, and you have a nice flex as well, so it feels very fluid, very smooth, and I actually really like it. And this decoupling didn't really feel horrible to me. You know, in some shoes they have it where the heel feels like way higher than like the midfoot and forefoot area, so you have like, if this is your foot, it kind of feels like this, you know? But the D.O.N issue 2 is more like smooth as far as the slope goes. So I didn't really feel the decoupling, which is really nice. Moving on to the cushioning, I really like the cushioning. They're using a full-length bounce midsole, and it has a good amount of compression here in the heel. It feels nice, it feels bouncy. In the forefoot, there's really nothing. And the cushioning, like right underneath your foot, as far as like the underfoot cushioning goes, it's pretty stiff. You know, they're using a very crappy insole, you know, like their paper stock insole, and if you feel the stroller board, it's rock solid. It's super hard, and it doesn't really break in that much. So all the cushioning that you're feeling as far as the compression and all that goes from the midsole, you're kind of feeling it like a springboard. So you're not really feeling any type of underfoot cushioning, but you know, the bounce cushioning is still pretty damn nice. And like I said, it's mostly here in the heel. Court feel isn't the best here in the heel. Like there's a good amount of offset, but here in the forefoot, you feel pretty low to the ground. Impact protection is also really good. You know, I had no issues playing on outdoor court. You know, like on concrete and stuff, and I really didn't have any issues with like my feet hurting. So cushioning overall is pretty damn nice, but I feel like they could have done a little bit better, especially softening up that stroller board. All right, moving on to the materials. The materials are okay. They're using a mesh here in the toe box area, and then here on the lateral and medial side, they're using like a really cheap feeling synthetic material. And also the material is very thick, and I don't really like it all too much. You know, like when I put on the shoe, I feel the shoe. You know what I'm saying? It feels very bulky, and I guess we'll get into weight and all that later, but like this material feels kind of like cumbersome, and you definitely feel all this foam. Like, don't get me wrong, I really like foam, like here in the ankle area and like here in the tongue, but I feel like they use a little too much, just for me. But of course, there are going to be people that don't mind it, and if you don't mind having a lot of like foam and the shoe feeling a little like heavy and a little bulky, then of course this shoe is going to be great. And the material is pretty stiff, and not only that, it's thick, so it doesn't conform to your foot as well as I would like it to, you know? All right, moving on to the fit. The fit was very weird for me, right? It runs a little long, so I would go down half a size from your Adidas size. It's snug here, but then it gets roomy here, right here. And then it gets narrow right here. So I couldn't tighten the shoe at all ever. Here, like where the first two eyelets are, and then the last two eyelets, because there's only 4 eyelets on the shoe, I would tighten. And I would get needles like crazy when I was playing in the shoe, even though it felt like pretty roomy here. You know, like I said, it's narrow here, like snug, and then gets roomy. And I didn't really like that. And then it would get super narrow, so I would get needles and I wouldn't know what to do with the fit. Width wise, I would say it's like around normal. And just, yeah, the fit was just not it for me. And as far as support and lockdown goes, I had no issues. This is one of the strong points of this shoe. This shoe feels very, very supported. It feels like a tank, you know? Your foot feels secure in the shoe. I guess besides the fit being a little like weird for me, I just felt like the shoe was very, very supportive. So for lateral containment, I had no issues. You know, you have the foam coming up, you have an internal TPU heel counter. So lateral containment was good. Lateral stability was good as well. You know, the bubbling of the midsole that Adidas does in a lot of their shoes. And it's a very, very wide base and it's super flat. So I had good lateral stability. And of course this is low, so you're not gonna get any ankle support, but you should be fine because it is a low wide base. All right, moving on to the freaking weight. This is problem, yeah, okay. So 13.72 ounces. It's not super heavy though, but it feels heavy and it feels bulky. I don't know what it is about the shoe, but just, I didn't like it. But not only that, but like I said, the fit wasn't good. So I just felt like the shoe was dragging me down, and I like noticed the shoe when I was playing it. You know, like when I play, I want to feel like I just want to ball. You know, I don't want to worry about my shoe really at all. So that was definitely something that did bother me. Like I said, if you don't mind that, you know, you've played in LeBrons or, you know, or I guess like Jordans or something, like old school Jordans, then you'll definitely be fine with this. But for me, I like to have a more minimal and lighter shoe. As far as the ventilation goes, this shoe is so hot. The materials are super thick, there's no airflow, and you have a lot of foam padding here in the ankle area as well as in the tongue. So your foot's gonna feel like it's like a sauna. Especially since I was playing outdoors, it was super hot, the sun was out. So definitely watch out for that. All right, moving on to the aesthetics. It definitely grew on me. You know, I do like how it looks. This colorway is also a very, very bright, but you know, definitely grew on me. All right, wrapping things up. It's kind of hard for me to recommend. I didn't really enjoy playing in the shoe, and whenever I played in the shoe or I had to test it, I was like, damn it, I don't want to play in this, you know? So yeah, I mean, the traction, not durable. It wasn't the best. The cushioning was, it was good, but like not as good as I thought it would be because it is full length bounce, and like I said, it has that stiff strobo board. Materials are a little too thick for my liking, and like the overall upper here, especially in the ankle area, is way too much. You know, it's heavy, but I guess it is a very supportive shoe. So yeah, I'm not really gonna recommend it to you guys. I don't think it's a great performer, but that's just my opinion. But if you don't mind bigger and bulkier shoes and you want a very, very supportive shoe with like pretty nice cushioning, then you should definitely go ahead and give this a try. But this shoe was definitely not for me. So anyways, that concludes my review of the D.O.N issue 2. If you guys do want to cop, I'll leave a link in the description box. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.